if you don't have the hardware and you want to try with the real hardware, so we can simulate it. So now let me show you one software, easy software that you can use. You can go to this tinkercad.com. So now you can go to the tinkercad.com. Again, you can pause this video anytime you want. If you need time, then you can slow down the video. So now you can, if you have already reached this website, now you can go to the join now. If you don't join yet, if you already have joined this accounts, then you can sign in directly. So for me, I have already joined this account. So what I do is I just log in, sign in, and this is the my dashboard for this software. Here there are several functions here. You can do 3D design, circuit, code blocks, but what we want to do is circuits, obviously. So now we have the circuits. So basically you can build your own circuit, or you can try to run the tutorial first. Now what I want to show directly is to create new circuit. So when you create new circuit, it will appear this UI. So now if you can see here, there are a lot of components here, the basic components, and also you can display all components here, and just directly search for Arduino UNO, or just Arduino. So just search for Arduino, so you will get the Arduino R3 here, and then you can drag out. So for me, I most preferable for the Arduino with the breadboard here, so that later I can easily construct my whole circuit. So when you drag your circuits, you will find this circuit here in this layout with the breadboard directly. So you can, after this, you can click on the breadboard to design your circuit. So now like before, we want to just lighting up this LED here. So you can code it here. There are two ways to code. The first one is using block, but we don't use it here. This is for child, for school children. So what we will do is we use text coding. So just continue. So now you can have the same, just like the Arduino IDE just now. So the same thing, just like in the Arduino IDE, but now instead the pin 13. So pin 13, just 1 second as well. So after you run open this coding, then just directly click here, start simulation. So when you click start simulation, it will start to do the simulation. So now as you can see here, this LED here is blinking. So now you can see it is blinking. So similar like the one that we use in the hardware. So this is for those who don't have the hardware, but it's not as fun as you have the hardware. So please get your own hardware if you have some money to spend, not more than 100. So don't worry, try to invest a little bit for this knowledge. This is more fun by using hardware than using the simulation only. So this is the second way for you to run the coding, by using the TinkerCAD software online. But we are engineers though, so we don't do this kind of easy stuff like this. This is suitable for those who wants to really see what happens inside the hardware. But for us, we usually will do the simulations in a simulation software, in the correct simulation software for the circuit, so that we can directly design the whole circuit and embed it all together on the single PCB, printed circuit board. So therefore, instead of I want to show you just using this software here, I much more prefer you to be able to use a circuit simulation software. That's why I suggest you to download this Proteus software, which I have already shared the link previously. But since this is a cracked version, so I can't teach you to do this kind of unethical methods or unethical ways, but I can also suggest you to buy, because I don't know whether you are affordable or not to buy one original software. That's why I just give this software here, but I will not show how you going to install it. If you don't install it yet, so please install it. But I still share with you the one guideline, the YouTube link for the other YouTubers on how to install this software. But I will not show you in this video. Yeah, I will skip that installation parts and the activation parts. And I really hope that you have already installed it. But if you don't install it yet, you may pause this video first before I show you how to import the Arduino library to your Proteus. So you may pause this video until you end with the installation. Yeah. So after you have complete installing the Proteus Professional in your computer, so you can go to the zip file that you download previously. So you can find the software itself, the installer, and then the crack, and also there is one folder here, Arduino library. So click on that Arduino library folder there, and then go to the PC, this PC. Yeah, find this PC on your computer, and then go to your C drive, yeah, and then find the program data. But let's say you can't find this program data anywhere, yeah, in your computer. So basically you can go to the view and then click on the hidden item. So whether if it is not showing up, meaning that it is unclicked, so just click it, so it will show up all the program data there. So what you can do here, when you find this program data, click on it and then search for Lab Center Electronic here. Click on the Lab Center Electronics Proteus 8 software, and then search for the library folder. So you can find a lot of library file here, and then take this software here, take these two files here, copy, and then paste it on the library file here. So after you paste it, it will appear in the library, in the Proteus library. So that's it, as simple as that. So now if you open your, let's close, and then let us open the Proteus Professional software. If you activate correctly, there will be nothing, no pin, no activation or serial number is asked, so you can just directly use. So let's say we go and do the new project. So rename your project, try 1 for example. So after you choose your directory, then just choose a new project, not from development board, just new project, and then default create schematic, default nets, do not create a PCB layout, so nets, no firmware project, okay, nets, and finally that's it. Yeah, finish. Okay, so after you have opened your first project, so what you can find is this screen first. Yeah, this screen first, if you see, there are a lot of sections here, the section 1 here, section 2, 3 and 4 down below. Yeah, again, if you look at one by one of the sections, so in this parts here, basically just a standard toolbar for you to open, save, magnify and so on. And then this part here, the section 2 here, is basically for you to load your library and parts, and then the third section here is basically for all the other parts, the tools and so on, the wires, if you want to change from the one tools to another. And finally, the section 4 is basically for you to run, stop and pause at your simulation. So that's it. That is the basic of the Proteus for those who never used a Proteus before. But if you have used Proteus before, therefore you can directly jump to where we can do the first circuits here. Since there is nothing here, so we can find in our library by clicking this button here. So you can find parts here, pick device here, which is Arduino. So we choose Arduino UNO, so there should be this Arduino. If you can't find your library Arduino here, meaning that you have installed your library correctly. So please rewind back this video, see how I install the library into the directory, the library directory, and then you should be able to find the library or the Arduino library in this Proteus. So just click it. So now you can drop your Arduino anywhere inside this square. So this is, as you can see, is the Arduino. But if you look at this Arduino UNO here, there is no LED on this Arduino. There is no built-in LED on this model here. So what we need to do is basically we need to develop a simple circuit for the LED. Basically the same thing. If you want to test your previous Arduino before with the LED, you can produce, or you can construct this simple circuit here with the resistor and also with the Arduino with the LED. So now we can find our device or our components. Just find your resistor. So there are a lot of resistors coming out here. So which value of resistors you should use to choose the correct resistors for the LED? If you don't know yet, we can make a basic calculation based on the Ohm's law, V equals to IR. So we can do this basic calculations, and this is engineering a little bit. Just a circuit design skills a little bit in this course. So again, usually for the LED, so the VF for the LED is equals to, usually is around 2 volt. Assume we have the 2 volt LED, and then we know that our power supply, let's say we have this circuit here. This is our Arduino, the Arduino, and then with the pin 13 coming out, which then you will connect with a resistor. Why we need to add resistor? Remember from the previous lecture, previous video, why we need resistors is because again, remember that this output from the digital output here provide a 20 milliamp, more than 20 milliamp of currents. So we don't want to burn or to break our LED here. That's why we need to make sure that the current that comes into our LED is limited to 20 milliamps only. Again, because of that, we know that if we know the previously, since this part here is 5 volts and this VF here is 2 volt, which means that this part here 5 minus 2 is 3 volt. And the current that coming out is 20 milliamp, as we already know in the previous video, which means that if we want to know this resistance value, just use Ohm's law. So the Ohm's law said V equals to IR. IR. So R value is just V over I, as simple as that. So V here is 3 over 20 milliamp. So you should be able to get around 150 ohms. Yeah, 150 ohms. So meaning that you can choose 150 ohms. The minimum resistance value, it can be higher than that, around 220, 470, even 1k is okay. But the higher the resistance, the lower the I will be. So if resistance is too high, I will be low, or what will happen is the LED intensity will become dimmer and dimmer, so you can't get the maximum intensity of the LED lighting. And that's why we don't use a very high resistance. We will stick at the minimum, or around 200 if you want a more safety measure. Okay, now we know what value of resistance that we need to choose. We go back to the Proteus, and then we can choose the 150 ohms, search for the 150 ohms. Okay, so now you can just insert it here, and then find LED. So LED, let's say we want to use a red color, so LED red, search the animated one, the LED red, so that we can view the output. So now you have one LED red, and then place a ground terminal. That's it, and then connect everything together. Alright, so now our circuit is completed, safe. That's it. Okay, so now after we satisfy with our circuit here, we can go back to the Arduino, the blinking coding just now, which as you can see, after we done compiling, it just come up with this message here only. But we don't want that, so we go to the preferences file, preferences, and then click on this part here, compilation. What does this do is basically it will generate a hex file. The generate hex file that you can copy and paste it into the Proteus software, and then you can run the Proteus the program in the Proteus software. So now click OK. So we try to verify again, click verify again. So as you can see, there are a lot of files generated here. So what you need to do is you need to find the hex file, here. Okay, this one here. As you can see, the extension to the hex file. So just click on the hex file here, copy and paste. Ctrl C for copy, and then you go back to your Proteus again. So when you go back to your Proteus again, what you can do is double click on this Arduino UNO here. So it will come up with this edit component. So edit component, you can read whatever it says here, but what you need to do is, the most important thing is the program file here. So the program file here, you copy. Just now you have paste the blink .hex. So now you just paste it on in this lines here, the program files, and then OK, click OK. So now it should have already been programmed by that hex file, and now we can test it by clicking the play button here. So here is the play button. So click this play button, this LED should light up. So let's try to play it. Okay, so as you can see here now, the LED is lighting up, blinking in 1 second every blinking. So it's here, as you can also see when it start to assign the high value or on, and that's why the LED is turn on. So this is for those who don't have the hardware. Let's say if you don't really like to see just blinking like this, and you still want to see the clear the real circuits, but you don't have the real circuit, as usual you can just go to the TinkerCAD here, and then you can produce the circuit here. So just search for the components. Let's say we take the the resistance here, and then LED, search for LED. So LED, the anode, cathode, so check clearly which one is anode, which one is cathode, and then take the cable to the resistor, connect, and then ground to the, okay, so ground is black color, change the black color, and then this one change to red, this one change to 150 just now ohms only, and then this one here red. Okay, so if you want to change the color, change the color. So that's it. And then since the code is already there, so we just start simulation, and as you can see here, it is blinking similar like before, but this is almost like a real circuit that you can construct on breadboard. So in other words, if you want to practice on constructing circuit on the breadboard, you can use this. If you want to simulate your circuits, you can use this Proteus. This is the real engineering ways of simulating circuit. This is more on how you going to visualize your circuit, and one way that you can do is by using the real circuits. Download your program just now, and then do this circuit here, the same circuit with the breadboard, and then connect it, and as you can see, it blinking. That's it, as simple as that. Okay, so this is the most simple way, the most simple program, the most simple functions that you can start to develop, where you know the delay, you know the what the delays are, you know every basic parts of how to write low and write high, and how to initialize the value, how to set a pin, the digital pin as output or input. So now you know all the basic codings of this Arduino just with this simple example here. And actually, yes, you see this is a very simple, but actually if you notice, if you look carefully on almost every electronic devices, LED blinking is the most crucial notification of all time. Yeah, it is the most simple, the most cheaper compared to LCD and so on, but the most the easily noticeable notification ever. That's why if you ever doing any electronics project, you can use this kind of techniques, especially if you want to notify, for example, something happens, so the blinking is getting faster, so just reduce the delay. And if you want to do any other ways, you just want to light it up all the time, so just set high all the time. It's up to you what you want to do. And from here later we can reproduce, we can improve by adding more LED, and we can try to do more advanced programming on that. So for that I will stop here for now, and then if this is too basic for you, too easy for you, you can just directly go to click to the next video and watch the next video. If it is too hard for you now, or you still lost, you can always going back, rewind back several times, and then you can ask me if you have problems, no worries. And that's it for me. Thank you very much for your attention on this video, and As usual, stay safe, stay curious, and stay joyful. I'm Ikhwan. May God bless you. Assalamualaikum.